Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I guess I'm returning to you again for another album review, and this is for Ibaraki's new album, Matt Heafy's uh, other band that he's formed or whatever recently. So Ibaraki's Rashomon album that I'm going to be reviewing, in my opinion, and give my own opinion about it. Sorry, I was reading a comment for a moment. But yeah, I'm gonna discuss uh what I listened to for this Ibaraki Rashomon album and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this album review. Now this was a 62-minute album, so it was pretty long, but I did get done with it, and what did I think of it? I think it's really good, honestly. There's some good riffage in most of the album with the guitars from Matt Heafy and another guitarist that's probably doing the riffs too as well. And pretty much, I really enjoyed this album. The first song, Hakanaki Hitsuzen, or however you pronounce it. I'm not good with Japanese names, honestly, or I think that's what it is. But yeah, I'm giving that a 4.5 out of 5. It has a weird intro, honestly. It's got the weirdest way it opens up the album. But in a way, I don't think it executes too bad. It's just a weird melody at the beginning of this album. And I'm like, this sounds like circus music, honestly. Really weird. But Kagas, Kagatsushi is a really good song. Really enjoyed that song from start to finish. Um, there are a lot of other tracks on this album that are pretty excellent for sure. Ibaraki Doji is another great song that I enjoyed. It's the third song on the album, and Matt Heafy's vocals in it and his scream vocals take over most of the beginning of the album, and it sounds really good. Jikoku Dayu, I believe is how you pronounce it. Uh, really good track. Really enjoyed the it from start to finish. So the guitars and the drum work in it is excellent, and you're not in for a disappointing time with this song. So yeah, 5 out of 5. Tom Tamashi no Hokai, I believe is how you pronounce it. I don't know. I might be mispronouncing it a bit. So if I am, please forgive me on that. Um, yeah, this was a pretty good song. Didn't hate it too much, and basically, it was pretty good for what it was. So, 5 out of 5. Sorry, I think the video's freezing a bit on my end. I'm not sure if it's doing it on you guys' end, but if it is, I am terribly sorry for it freezing. It tends to do that sometimes. But yeah, my laptop's a little messed up, so I'm gonna have to get another one in due time. But yeah, Akuma is the next song featuring Adam Darsky. Um, that was a really good track. And he's actually from Behemoth, I believe the band Behemoth or something like that, if I remember correctly. And this was a pretty well executed track. The scream delivery from Matt and Adam were pretty good in this song. So 5 out of 5. Como Rebai, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. If I'm mispronouncing stuff, please forgive me. It tends to do that sometimes, or I tend to do that sometimes with my mispronunciation, but still. Um, yeah, really enjoyed this song from start to finish, and I thought the timing of the video is messing up or something. I'm not 100% sure. I think the video's acting glitchy right now. I hope it's not, but yeah, I'm just gonna continue the video just to see how it performs anyway. Como Rebuy is a really excellent song, like I said. There's some moments where there's some melodic moments in certain songs on this album, with Matt Heafy doing some clean sings too. And in Ronin, he really did that, but Gerard Way took over with his black metal screams, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, never expected this from him. I think it was Gerard Way, because I know how Matt Heafy's screaming vocals sound. It's not like what it sounded. It sounded really bleh-ish screams and all that kind of shit, and it was pretty excellent. So 5 out of 5 for Ronin. I really enjoyed this track from start to finish. It was a very long song for sure. It was like 9 minutes and 13 seconds, but it was a pretty well executed track. So Susanoo no Mikoto featuring Ishan was actually pretty good, but there was a weird moment in the bridge of the song that I don't know if I liked, but still, it was still pretty solid and a pretty good track, I guess you could say. So 5 out of 5 for this one. And finally, we get to Kaizoku, the final track on this album, and this one, yeah, it's a little bit of a cringe fest some of the time, with the melody mostly, but it's basically how Matt Heafy is singing the song. It actually doesn't do so bad on his part, but it's just the melody and the mixing and the production on it is a little weird and wonky to me. But I guess that's what they were going for with this outro to the album. But overall, production, mixing, and execution, I think Ibaraki Rashomon is a really good, excellent album. I really enjoyed this album from start to finish. I wouldn't say it's perfect in any way, but it's actually a really good album. So I highly recommend you check this out on May 6th. It's going to be released from Nuclear Blast Records, I believe, uh, if I remember correctly. But first score for me, I'm giving Ibaraki's Rashomon album a 9 out of 10. This was a really good album. Highly recommend you check it out. There's a lot of good riffage from the guitar work, and the drum work is pretty fucking heavy in this album. And it's a pretty well executed album, in my opinion. So, yeah. If the video is sort of glitching, well, it's glitching on my end a bit. It's like slowing down a bit. But if it's glitching on your end, or if it's not, then that's good, because I feel like the video's kind of glitching a bit. Uh, but I hope not. Hopefully you like this video. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. So comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Ibaraki Rashomon album, if you've heard it. And if you enjoyed this album review I made for you guys, I guess tonight, uh, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can. Support the channel. I'll have another album review coming out in a little bit, and I think I'll probably do... I want to get at least the majority of the albums done before midnight tonight, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. I'll have to wait and see what I'm doing. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this album review for Ibaraki Rashomon. I think the next album review is going to be for Sigrid, How to Let Go, because I did find that album earlier today. So I think it was during the afternoon, I believe, is when I found it. But until then, hope you enjoyed this album review for Ibaraki Rashomon. Like I said, this is the best I can do to make it as good as possible. Stay safe, take care, and as always, I'll see you in my next review.